Hey VCE HHD students, my name's Andy, I'm a VC Health and Human Development teacher. In this short video we're going to look at answering the 2022 VCE HHD exam, question number 14. Just a reminder before we dive into question number 14, the Health Resources Hub has over 100 videos on the YouTube channel that can support you in the lead up to the HHD exam this year. There's a new one coming out each day between now and the exam, and you can subscribe with the button in the bottom corner of the video there. Please let your HHD friends know they can do so too. Our website, thehrh.net.au, has lots of support for students and teachers of HHD, so please check that out. You can see our social media links there if you'd like to follow us and get alerts to new videos coming out each day, and also our email if you've got any questions or suggestions videos you'd like me to work on. So question 14 in the 2022 exam was worth 10 marks, so this was the extended response question. And so like most of the extended response questions, it had three sources and asked you to consider the three sources relating to the link between dietary intake and Australia's health status. So you can see there, source one was some stimulus material about Jenna, who was 10 years old, okay, and it talked a bit about her day, okay, where she has cereal with high sugar content, she travels to school, passing fast food outlets and advertisements for soft drinks, she learns about healthy eating in class, when she gets home she watches TV where she sees ads for fried chicken and a chocolate bar, and then her mum comes home and prepares dinner for her, which was a commercially prepared cottage pie, which had on the front package it contains 100% Australian organic beef and no artificial colours. So then source two was looking at the obesity trends in Australia, so it was looking at sort of children as well as overall the adult obesity and overweight trends, and generally they have all been going up. And then source three, okay, was looking at an infographic here from the Australian Institute of Health and Welfare on food and nutrition, and essentially was talking about less than 1 in 10 adults meet the recommendations for vegetable consumption, a lot of children are consuming sugar-sweetened drinks, okay, and about 1/3 of Australia's energy is from discretionary foods, particularly for teenagers aged 14 to 18, and 7.3% of the total burden of disease in Australia in 2015 was due to poor diet, so a lot more information there on essentially Australians not eating particularly well. And so the question then asks you to use the information from all three sources and your own knowledge to discuss the contribution of dietary risks to Australia's health status and burden of disease, the importance of consuming a diet consistent with Australian dietary guidelines, and challenges that make dietary improvements difficult to achieve. So I've done a couple of videos previously on answering the extended response part 1 and part 2, so please go back and have a look at those if you haven't. One's on analysing sources in the question and another is about writing a response. But obviously this question here is really focusing on, okay, dietary consumption, okay, and health conditions in Australia. But then it's asking you to think about how the Australian dietary guidelines might help Australians to make healthy choices, but why, okay, that might be difficult to achieve. So you can see here that this question, as per most of the extended response questions in the exam, okay, from 2018 to 2022 was quite poorly answered, with a really small percentage of students really getting higher than either a 6 or a 7. And that overall responses are marked using a rubric, okay, looking at the logical flow, obviously, of the answer, incorporating all the stimulus material and addressing all aspects of the question. And so I think for a question like this, you need to really focus in on the fact that it's talking about health status and burden of disease, so linking into some conditions, okay, not only obesity, okay, as was in the stimulus material, but some other conditions potentially like type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease would have been useful, and not only linking to health status, but obviously burden of disease is talking about like YLL, YLD, DALY. It's then talking about the importance of the dietary guidelines, so there's obviously a couple of key dietary guidelines you could have linked into, probably 1 and 3, but also 2 as well, and how those could help Australians make, okay, better dietary choices and help to reduce some of this burden, okay, and also a link into some reasons why dietary change is difficult. So I think 2 or 3 examples of that would be useful as well. So there's a sample response in the VCAR examiner's report. I haven't pasted it in here, it was quite long, but you can go back and read that. But what I would just recommend is have a go at this question, then probably show it to your teacher and try to get some feedback, and also have a read of that sample response in the examiner's report and think about how your answer sort of compares with that one there. Okay, for these extended response questions, I think it's just practice, practice, practice. Hopefully you found that useful. Just a reminder, Health Resources Hub YouTube channel, our website, social media links, and our email. Thanks so much.